From Sevilla, we were traveling to Lisbon. We took the airport bus to the Sevilla airport and we flew on TAP Air to Lisbon. It's just an hour flight, but the flight was delayed an hour. Spain had turned the clocks back an hour that morning, and Portugal is on a different time zone, so they're an hour behind. It felt like a very long day. From Lisbon airport, we got on the metro. The red line goes into town, but we changed to the green line at Alameda and got off at Martín Moniz. It was about 6 o'clock by the time we actually got off the metro, and then we had a little 20-minute walk to our hotel, Dlama Old Town Suites. This is a small hotel. We had a little studio unit. They gave us a bottle of rosé wine. It's our window looking out over the street. And the first full day we were in Lisbon was beautiful, blue sky, it was warm. And we've been to Lisbon before, so we just wandered around, made our way to the riverfront, took in the views. This is an area where the view is over the river and town that has a whole mural of blue tiles. And then this is the cathedral and the main square. And the Lisboa sign.
Photo op.
Statues at the main plaza. Yeah, so we were making our way to the Time Out Market. We'd been here before and we thought we might grab lunch here, but man, have the prices gone up. They do have some of the best pastel de nata though. So we did find our lunch at a little cafe off a little street that was much more reasonable. Lisbon has a lot of hills, so if you go down to the waterfront, you are walking back uphill.
Yeah, it was up and down all day long.
Yeah, and that's the castle. Just more views. The second day, we continued just to walk around the town. It was a little bit damp. We went into a couple of churches that are collecting donations to help fund restoration because they've been there, hundreds of years, and they're definitely needing some work.
Yeah, this was a beautiful
it's
work
just
in progress.
amazing. Just amazing.
Yeah, and this was the third place we went to.
Yeah.
Also trying to raise money to tell their story. Had a huge room of blue murals. And at evening out, watching the trams go by.
This piri piri chicken. It was a little spicy for me, but it was good. Chicken in Lisbon seems to come with French fries, no matter what.
And the next day...
Oh, it was pouring rain. There was no eating breakfast on the patio.
No.
But it did stop, and we did go out and wander some. This we just came across on the, just off the street. It's a area of Roman ruins that are being restored.
Yeah, some pictures of what they imagine it used to look like. And as Maureen said, there's up and down in the hills of Lisbon if you want to see anything. A lot of people take those little cab things.
The little tuk-tuks. They were filming something here. These 3 people had to walk their bikes up the hill several times. We've never been on the tram, but the lineup is just incredible. It was raining. We wanted to duck out of the rain. The closest place was the Hard Rock Cafe. Mediocre food, but and then Santa Eusta elevator, and then this is Rua Augustus. St. Antonio Church.
Yeah, the rain was on and off.
When we left Lisbon, we walked from our hotel to the bus station, which was about 5 kilometers, and it was all uphill. We caught the bus from Lisbon to Vila Nova de Milfontes, about 2 hours south of Lisbon. Vila Nova de Milfontes is at the mouth of the Rio Mira, and it's on the Rota Vicentina, the Fisherman's Trail, a hiking trail that goes along the south and west coasts of Portugal.
Which is mostly sand dunes.
Mostly sand dunes.
But what a gorgeous area.
Oh, it's just beautiful. So we did a day of just wandering around, a couple of days of hiking, and another day of just wandering around. So we went north on the Rota Vicentina for about 9 kilometers, and then turned around and came back and we'd packed a picnic lunch, and when we got back we had a drink at the Riverside Cafe. We had a lovely apartment with beautiful views and sunrises, and this is just around Vila Nova de Milfontes. There's different beaches, but there's definitely lots of rock.
It's a rough coast. And that was the end point of our second day.
Yeah. We saw a few people who were doing the whole trail on the day we walked north. Vila Nova would be the second or third day, depending on where people start, south of Lisbon. And again, the waves were too strong at this part of the sea, but I did take my shoes off and put my feet in the Atlantic Ocean. And then we took a little ferry across the River Mira, hiked south for, again, about 8 or 9 kilometers, and then hiked back. They had moved on to their winter schedule, so we had their last trip back across the river was at 1 o'clock, so we had to make sure we were back at this dock by 1 o'clock, or we'd have to walk another 4 or 5 kilometers around and take the highway bridge. And so this is looking back at Vila Nova de Milfontes. Nice big beach. There's people like windsurfing or kiteboarding or something there. I don't know exactly. And again, the route is well signed. This trail it's not one of the GR ones. The trail markings are blue and green. Yeah, there was just a couple of sort of narrow, where it went down into a gully and back up. There was a little bit along some farmland, but most of it was just along the edge, close to the edge of the cliff, above the shoreline. This is a wonderful day. I love this day.
It was just a beautiful area.
And then we got to the dock, and it was like he saw us. We kind of waved at him. We actually got back about noon, I think, and he came over and picked us up. And the Riverside pub had been recommended to us by our host. The food was delicious, the drinks were good, the view was lovely, the service was great.
Then the next day we headed back to Lisbon.
We caught the bus as far as Lisbon Oriente. It's a big metro train and bus station. We stayed here for 2 nights before we flew home. The hotels all around Lisbon Oriente are just big business conference type hotels. We walked up to the decathlon, probably the biggest decathlon I've ever been in. There are lots of kitty cats. And then lots of this art made from recycled things. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And it was overcast. We just had one full day, 2 nights, 1 full day. And we walked along the riverfront, which is part of the Camino de Santiago.
This cat was also made of recycled material.
Yeah.
You can see hard hats as eyeballs there. Little statues and various artworks along the way. That's the bridge that goes to the airport and south.
There is a gondola ride along the river there, but because it wasn't that nice a day, we decided not to do that. And November 1st, Christmas decorations were up just like that. And our last night, we had dinner outside at an Italian restaurant. It was absolutely delicious. It was a wonderful way to end our time in Portugal.
And then early morning we got going. But
We
oh my gosh, it was raining.
we woke up at 4:30 a.m. to a thunder and lightning storm that we actually wondered if our flight would actually be on time or not. But fortunately, it stopped. The thunder lightning stopped, and
We got on our way.
hey,